Hi, I'm Sharon Burns, owner and operator at Arts Catering in the DC metro area. And we're here cooking with Sharon, the business chat. I am so excited today because I have a awesome guest. And for those of you who know, I like to ride my bike. I'm out there working out. I'm on my feet all the time. So I'm always in pain. And you know what? I got the perfect guest here for us today. Dr. Jessica Howard. Because why? She is my chiropractor, y'all. I mean, this is where I go and I get fixed and hooked up. So I'm super excited. Welcome to have you on the business chat. And as you know, a lot of things happen around food.
True.
Major decisions, just regular conversations, good and bad, family discussions. So this is why, as you know, I decided to do the cooking business chat. We're going to cook something up for you and we're going to chat about what we do every day. So before we get started, I know we got to break the ice a little bit,
okay,
because
we work hard.
We work hard. So I've been talking a lot about, Black entrepreneurship, and in a couple other episodes, we featured some Black wine vineyards. And so you all know the McBride sisters, Black Girl Magic. We're all about magic here.
Black Girl Magic.
Yes. And we're magic. So why don't we just pour something up? I'm going to start cooking and we're going to start chatting.
Okay.
What do you
Sounds
think?
good to me.
Okay. So, before we get started, I always like to do a little cheers because you deserve it.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
we work hard.
Yeah. So cheers to
Cheers.
you. All right. So I know you all want to hear about this phenomenal woman here, Dr. Jessica Howard. We're going to just start off by just telling us a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, where you're from, how you got started.
Oh, absolutely. So,
Okay.
Of course, Dr. Jessica Howard. I have a pretty young face, but I've been practicing chiropractic for 10 years.
I didn't know that.
Solo practice for 6 years. I worked for 3 other doctors before I branched out on my own in Tyson's Corner. And I started from scratch, like no patients, built my way up from year 1 to now year 6. And I have a great practice base. But I'm from Southern Virginia, Portsmouth, Virginia. I went to HBCU undergrad.
Oh, we love HBCUs.
Yeah.
We'll let you shout yours out because everybody knows I went to FAMU.
I went to Livingstone College in Salisbury, North Carolina.
Okay.
So I got a track scholarship to go run. So I was a quarter horse. So I ran the 400.
Shut up!
Yeah.
I learn more about my guests every time. I thought I was a track runner too. I mean, back in the day, but I didn't go to school on a scholarship. That's definitely not the case. But 400, I thought I could run the quarter too.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, you're pretty good.
It takes a lot. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So I went to Livingstone. I ran track my first year, and then I ran cross country my last 3 years. But I was a biology major, so I always knew I was going to be a doctor. I just didn't know what type.
Okay.
And I was always into not taking a lot of medicine, right? So being natural, what you put into your body, being body conscious. So my senior year, there was a woman who came, and she talked about chiropractic. She came from my chiropractic school and how the doctors heal from the inside out.
Okay.
They look for the problem at the true source, which is the spine. And I was like, well, that's kind of the doctor that I want to be. So I was going to Johns Hopkins for my doctoral school, my medical school. So I decided to defer that for a year and to try chiropractic. And I was like, if I don't like it, I can go back to Johns Hopkins. And I guess the rest is history because, I'm a chiropractor to this day and I absolutely love what I do. Like taking people off of medications, just healing their pain and not having them go on medications or avoid surgery is like the best thing for me.
And so I will tell you, I mean, I just saw her this past weekend and I went for an adjustment and I said, oh my God, girl. We can talk girl when we're outside of practice. Girl, but in the practice, it's all, formal. But girl, I mean, my back feels so much better now. And, I have constant pain. So, I mean, you have to love what you're doing. I think both, any business owner, you have to have a passion for it because then you're going to do it that much better.
And what people don't know is that chiropractic is medical's best kept secret. Like if you keep your spine in perfect alignment and keep that going, your body functions better because your spine encompasses your nervous system, right? So you can get a brand new set of teeth, eyes, face if you want it, boobs, all that good stuff. But what you can't replace is your spine. So you have to take care of your spine. And your spine is a direct reflection of your health. So if that deteriorates, so does your health. You'll notice you have headaches and fatigue and muscle weakness. And then even diabetes, high blood pressure. All of that.
All that is
managed from the spine. So if you
right.
take care of your spine, your body will take care of you. And it really is the best kept secret because we take medication when we feel tired, right?
Right.
That just covers up the symptom.
Right.
So what I do is I take care of it literally at the source. So that's why I love it.
Okay, so you've been doing it for 6 years on your own. On your own.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you just went out and said you were in a practice.
Yeah.
Working with how many other...
You want the long story or the short story?
You can give us the medium story.
Yes. So the last practice that I was at, I was like most people, you know, when you want to become an entrepreneur, you want to make a change. You're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you want to bet on yourself. So for me, I was at a practice where I was overworked, underpaid, sometimes not paid, because the doctor, he made enough money, but he was misappropriating funds.
Okay.
So when it came payday, he was like, well, I ain't got it. And if you
Shut
want
up.
it, I ain't got it. If you want it, you need to work harder.
Not work harder.
I was the only...
Weren't you seeing patients?
I was. At that time, I was the only treating doctor. I saw 250 people a week.
And he still said, I
needed to, yes. And, you know, I was also doing the x-rays, marking the x-rays, treating the patients, putting them on therapy. So I was making all this money for him, and he was paying me pennies or not paying me at all. So around the fourth time that he told me I wasn't getting paid, I was like, you know what, I need to figure something out. So in the beginning, I took out a business loan to buy a practice. And I was in negotiations with the woman to buy a practice. The day that we went to sign, she wanted another $25,000 to what we had agreed upon. So even though I had it, I didn't trust her. So I had, so this was like in February of 2016. I was supposed to take over her practice, and I set a date by April 1st, 2016, I want to start. Okay. So I had a month and maybe 2 weeks to get my stuff together, and I set up my LLC. I tried to find a place. I got myself together. I bought equipment, and within a month and 2 weeks, I was up and running by April 1.
Wait a minute, but who told you all this stuff? Like,
honestly and truly, nobody. I did it all on my own. I set up my own LLC. I did my research for equipment, and I'm a firm believer that you don't have to have a whole bunch of money to start. The basics, whatever you need to basically get started is what you need, right? And then just ebb and flow as your money grows, right?
But I mean, come on, that equipment in your office, it's expensive.
I started off with one table, one Easton machine, and no receptionist. One computer and myself.
Okay.
That's how I started. Because, I mean, at this point, it's survival mode, right? I was going to buy a practice. She fell through. I'm not going to go back to the man who wasn't paying me, right?
Right. So wait, the woman that you were going to buy the practice from, she had all the equipment.
She did.
Everything.
Set
so
practice.
It was a turnkey type of operation.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
But, you know, God has a way of wanting you to start a certain way, right? So I believe that how I started is the best way because my practice has grown, right? Since day one. And when I was 5 years in business, I was blessed to move into bigger office space.
Okay, so the space you're in now is not where you started?
No.
Okay, tell me about that.
My new space and my old space.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so the old space was where?
Smaller.
It was in the same, like, General Tyson's Corner area?
Yep, down the same street, yeah.
And wait, let's pause. Tyson's Corner area, for those of you all don't know that aren't in the DMV, is an affluent area.
It is very expensive.
Oh, yes, that was my point. You know what?
Very expensive. Say what it is now. It's expensive.
Okay, say what it is. Okay, I was trying to be PC.
Yeah.
Dr. Jessica.
Yeah, very expensive.
But she actually hit the nail on the head. So it's very expensive. So I mean, before you tell me about that old practice, why would you even think about moving into an area that is so expensive?
So to be honest, it was a better market. I started off in Loudoun County, and I've been practicing in Loudoun County for at least 3.5 years. And with my current contract, I couldn't practice close to the doctor I was going to leave. So I just took a leap of faith. I was like, let me try it. There's, I believe in abundance. So there wasn't a lot of chiropractic. So I knew that when I started, I wouldn't have to compete with a whole bunch of people versus in Ashburn and Sterling, where you have at least over 150 chiropractors.
Oh, really?
Just in Ashburn.
Oh, really?
All crunched together, right?
Okay.
So that's why I decided to do Tyson's, because it was more spaced out. And I just took a leap of faith. It was a better market, and I was like, let me try it.
So how many black chiropractors are there?
That's a good question. So me, not too many of us. Me in Tyson's Corner, there's one in Falls Church. There's 2 in Springfield. I believe there's 2 or 3 in Ashburn, but we're definitely rare diamonds. And especially in chiropractic school, when I started, it was I was the only black girl, and there was one black guy in school. So we're very rare.
Wow. So, okay, let's go back to this whole building situation.
Okay.
All right, because I got to hear about this, because I know what it takes to build out a location, and especially if you don't have like the equipment in place, you don't have the infrastructure. It's not, I mean, because y'all really need to check her out at her location now, because I mean, I walk in, it's peaceful.
Absolutely.
It's peaceful. It's clean, of course.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it looks like you've been there and you've been
for
established.
Forever. Yeah. No,
I mean, so tell me where you came from and now where you are.
So, like I said, I started basically on a dime, right? So my first space was about under 1,000 square feet, and I had one big open room where the reception was, my therapy, and then I had one closed room to where I treated my patients is where I started. And COVID was a blessing to me that I'm very grateful that my business grew within COVID.
Right. Were you still open?
Oh, yeah. I'm essential. So I changed my schedule to be open 3 days a week and kind of add from there. But, of course, I couldn't close down.
Right. Okay.
But like I said, my 5th year anniversary, I needed to have bigger space because I know I wanted to grow. And I had the opportunity to move down the street into a bigger space that was actually cheaper than what I was paying for. Yeah. Okay. Because this was in the middle of COVID. This was 2021, coming right off of COVID. So the place that was in there, they got bought out, so they had to leave their lease. So I just moved right on in. And it was my biggest blessing because I wanted to be in a bigger space to help more people, and I was able to expand. So it was just the right time.
So let's see, you have 3 rooms now. Well, 4 because you have your office.
4, yeah.
And I mean, y'all, I'm all about, giving kudos because I've been to another chiropractor. When I started coming to you, I hadn't been in probably, 8 years.
Okay.
And so I said, I need to start it back up. And then this is how it works, I believe. I think one person says something, referrals. Yeah. I was referred by another store. Yes. And then I'm like, she's black too? Right. Oh, yeah. Let me give her an opportunity, because you want to support your own. And
Absolutely.
I think that's important.
And we also listen to each other too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
We've been overlooked in different places, and I make it a point to be approachable, to feel safe, that you can ask me any question and not feel cold and stuffy. So that's why it's a warm environment. That's why it's relaxing. Right. I love R&B and jazz.
And she has it playing when you walk in.
All day, every day, 24/7. So when you're coming into my office, if you can't electric slide, honey, don't come in there.
Don't come.
But I like to have, just a warm atmosphere, and that was something that I wanted. Working with other doctors, it was cold, it was stuffy, they played classical music. The doctors were unapproachable. They only spent 2 seconds with you. You couldn't even ask a question if you wanted to. And I definitely didn't want to have that in my practice. I wanted you to feel heard, feel seen, get results. Because I know there's a negative stigma that in chiropractic that you got to come see us for forever. Yeah. You never get healed, and we do the same thing. And that's not true. So I wanted to change the game in that regard.
Okay. All right. These are also... Let me ask you this. Do you like yours medium or?
Medium. Okay. But I mean, it looked good. I'm going to eat whatever you serve me now.
Well,
I'm going to eat whatever you serve me.
I'm not going to talk about food right now because it's not about me. It's about you. But, some people, like it well done.
I may not look like it, but I love to eat.
Okay. You don't look like it.
No, I love to eat.
Okay. So we talked about your location.
Yes.
I want to know really about... You have one employee working?
Yes, one part-time employee.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So when did you decide? Because as an entrepreneur, business owner, we were talking earlier is that we do everything.
Yes. And I still do everything.
Yeah. Okay. So when did you decide at one point, hey, you know what? I need some help, because a lot of times people don't do it like we want it done. True. And then it's hard, like for me, to not be a micromanager.
I get it.
Okay, so
I get it.
So when did you decide, hey, I'm going to need some help?
Well, I'd say when I noticed I couldn't manage the phones anymore and treat my clients at the same time. And of course, when you want to grow, you can't do it all yourself. So I had to realize, okay, what can I delegate? What do I feel comfortable with? And I started with a virtual assistant at first. Okay. And then I started with somebody part-time. I knew I could only pay somebody for 10 hours or 15 hours. So that's exactly what I did. Okay. So just getting to a point to know that I can't do it all. And if I want to grow, I'm going to need some helping hands. So it's all a personal choice. So like I said, you can't do it all yourself. But just for me, it was, I can't answer the phone and treat the patient at the same time, right? So I need somebody to kind of cover my front for a couple of hours so that I can handle and see my patients.
Okay, so I tried the whole virtual assistant thing.
Okay, didn't like it?
I didn't like it.
Okay, tell me about it.
Okay. Well, it wasn't the personal touch, in my opinion. And I mean, I think I've handheld a lot of my customers, and you probably with the same.
I do that.
Right. So because I think as small business owners, we take that next step to have that special interaction like you were talking about, and that approach. So when they were answering the phone, my customers are like, "Where's Sharon?" It wasn't like what I wanted. So I know probably it helped you, but it didn't
help you. Okay, it's all right.
But I mean, you transition, so it's all good. To the current person that you have. So a lot of times with starting a business, we don't know where people don't. If you're in business or you're trying to start one, people don't know where to find good people.
Yeah, that's true.
So where did you find your person?
Well, I don't have that down packed yet. I've used Indeed, to be perfectly honest. That, yeah. I've tried personal referrals.
Okay. How did that work out?
Okay.
Okay,
until it didn't work no more.
Okay.
I had good college students, and then they go to do their masters and stuff like that. But I mean, for me, it was hard, and it's still hard to find good people. I come from an era where work ethic is important, right? Asking questions, going above and beyond. And not to talk about anybody, but this generation is a little hard, and I'm a tough boss. Like stellar service is everything to me, being on point. So
yeah.
Like I said, I don't have the secret sauce. I'm trying.
When you say tough, because I hear that a lot of times, my mom actually answers my phones twice a week, sometimes 3. And it's always in the afternoon, as 1, 2, 3 hours of free time makes a big difference.
Yes.
So, I mean, she has been a gem, with helping in that regard. But I have to, I wonder, where was I going with this? Oh my gosh. This is where I have so many questions I want to ask you that get in my brain, but when you look for certain people, and I was saying that
being tough,
tough. My mom always says, Sharon, you're the toughest person to work for. Yeah.
I mean, we strive for excellence. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, you're the type of person who wants more, headstrong, right? Always growing and evolving. So when I say tough, I expect you to treat my patients a certain way. I want you to smile, know them by name. Know a little something when you answer the telephone. So like I said, when I say I'm tough, I want it to be perfect. I want it to be right. So when you walk in here, you know that you're cared about, that you got good service, because when you have a bad experience, everybody's going to talk about it.
Of course they are.
So and
then they go online, on the reviews. And
so when you walk in here, I want you to have a pleasant experience, so you have no reason to talk about me, but that woman is beautiful. She knows her job. Okay? I feel better. I absolutely love coming to this place. That's the only thing I want you to say.
Okay, so we talked a little bit about, finding help or find, people. A lot of times with being in this game, of entrepreneurship, your circle of friends or your people, around you. I talked about my mom. She helps a lot. Do you have that same support system?
I do.
Has it changed over the years?
It probably has, just because you're about business and you got things that you got to get done. But as far as the support system, there's a few Black chiropractors I talk to. There's one in Maryland, one in Falls Church. I have a good friend. She is in North Carolina. And we bounce things off of each other, right?
Okay.
Within my profession, I do have a mentor. There's not too many people that you can talk to ask questions, because they may think that you're trying to take competition. So
really?
It's hard to...
Still?
Yeah, to build trust. So I do have a core group of people that I can ask a question about, or just encouraging, because it gets tough being a business owner, just asking questions. So I do have a nice group of folks that I can talk to and bounce questions off. Okay. I will say that as being an entrepreneur, you got to get out of the mindset of being an island. Sometimes I'm just me, myself, and I, and I'm not asking nobody anything. But it's good to ask for help. So
right.
Have that good support system to be able to listen. And you also can't say everything to everybody, because not everybody has that entrepreneurial spirit. They don't know what it takes to keep it moving. They go to their 9 to 5, clock in and clock out and keep rolling.
Tell me about it. Say that again.
They don't know how it is. So you also have to be careful who you confide in. So having good friends and colleagues that you can trust to just say what you need to say is also very important. But I do have that.
Okay. So, I've never asked if you're not married, right?
No, not married yet.
Okay. Yet. Okay, y'all.
Amen.
Yet. So, is there someone?
I'm going to be behave on your program. I'm going to behave. I'm not married yet.
Okay. So, well, you may have a special friend. Okay, a special friend. So, how do you balance that? Is the special friend an entrepreneur or a small business owner?
He is, yes.
Okay. So he can kind of relate to some, degree. I was going to say, how do you balance coming into work every day, running your operation, your business,
right.
and then separating it and going home? Because I know you're involved in sorority stuff. And then you want to have personal time too.
Yes.
So how do you make that balance of?
So, you just have to, I've learned you got to make time. So when I first started, I was out here hustling, building my business. I didn't take time off. I was there past 9 to 5, Monday through Saturday.
Okay.
And then.
So 6 days you were.
Yeah.
Okay.
And anybody want an appointment, I was there, right?
Okay.
I didn't have boundaries.
You didn't want to say no.
Yeah, I needed that money. Okay,
I understand.
I needed that money. But I would say that COVID was a blessing because I was out here hustling, building my business from scratch, and then when COVID hit, I'm like, I haven't traveled. I haven't done anything. I'm not out here dating. I'm not out here enjoying life. I'm trying to make this money, but what am I doing with it? Going to work and going home.
Right.
So I realized that I have to make time, set boundaries to, have a good work-life balance. So now I have that. I took my first vacation this year. I went to the DR.
Yes!
So
Good.
I say all that to say you just got to learn to make time. Take vacation time. Take time to get away. And when I did that, I was more refreshed. I was more energized. I was more focused in my business.
Right.
So you just got to make time.
Okay.
And also know that you are not your business. So whether you're making a lot of money today, don't have nothing in the bank account tomorrow, that doesn't define who you are as a person. And it also doesn't define success because business is going to ebb and flow at the end of the day. And it's never going to be smooth sailing. So I also had to learn that everything is going to be okay. It's going to take time. Like I have the skills that I need to progress, grow, and have a beautiful business and just work with the ebbs and flows of the business.
Okay. So you started off with some, another practice. You're now solo by yourself. Do you anticipate, adding another?
I do, only because my patients want me to come in more, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. So the days that I'm not in, I would like to have an associate, and I tease my patients and I tell them that I'm not cracking backs past 50.
Okay.
So I do need to have another doctor in there to kind of take over.
Right.
Because these are the things I want to do in life.
Yeah.
So later, but right now I enjoy the fact that I'm the solo practitioner, so I can move my schedule how I want to, but good business would be for me to bring somebody in on those days that I'm not there.
Okay, so I know you said you don't know quite yet, but a year, 2?
That's a wonderful question.
Okay.
I can't really give you a date, but maybe I should in a year. It's also about control. I like to control things, and I don't know if they can do it like I can do it. I don't want anybody to bring my practice down or my business down, but I do know I need somebody else in there to help grow the practice. So I just need to find the right person. Okay. Is all. But I don't have a timeline, but I should.
Okay. Well, you can think about that. This is what this discussion's about.
Right. Yeah.
And talking with like-minded people that may, trigger something that, I never thought about that. Okay. So we have talked about a lot. And this is almost done.
Okay. It looks good, honey.
Thank you.
I'm trying not to eye the food and look at you.
So I'm going to take a moment to plate everything up, and then we'll come back and chat some more. But I want you to think about, too, because I think I'm going to hit you with this question when I come back. Is that, how do you anticipate exiting? Okay. That's going to be another question down the line. But, while I'm plating up, think about it, because a lot of people may or may not have that the exit strategy. Yeah. Okay. So
I'll think about it.
Give me a minute. We'll plate up, and I'll be right back.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay, we are back. We've plated up. You've tried a little bit of It's a Tuscan salmon. So what do you think?
It's delicious.
Okay, thank you.
You know what you're doing.
Okay, thanks. I don't know if she would say otherwise, y'all, but she looks like she's loving it right now.
It's delicious.
Do you need some more wine?
I do.
Okay.
Don't people don't judge me.
Okay, well, no. We're on break, and that's one of the advantages of being, our own boss. Right. Is that you can kind of. I know with you today, you kind of rearranged some things.
I did.
And I appreciate it. So how do you go about, scheduling your day? Like, what does it look like? Because no day's the same, I'm sure.
That's very true.
Not with me.
Very true. So, I typically, want to have my day open for serving the people. That's what I'm here for, right? Mm-hmm. So I set my schedule around treating clients before they go to work or after they come from work. Typically, lunch break time is good. Mm-hmm. My older patients that like come early in the morning. And then those who have 9 to 5s like to come, between 4:30 and 6. So I just basically have pockets of time where I can see patients to treat them. So that's number one. Okay. And then as being a business owner, we do a lot of things. So I have downtime to, send my bills, do a little bit of paperwork, all that not so fun stuff, being a doctor.
Okay. The not so fun stuff, because coming from the pharma industry, I know with most physicians, you all have a ton of filing as far as for insurance. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now, tell me a little bit, how do you manage and handle all that? Because, you take insurance because, you take mine. So,
right.
So how do you go about, did you know all the stuff on managed care and,
so I'm very blessed. So my previous 3 practices, my first practice was a PI practice. So that's personal injury. So I learned all the therapy things. So when you come in from a car accident, I knew what therapies need to be done to treat you to get you better. Okay. My second practice was a heavily PI and insurance-based practice. So I learned all the billing, all the coding, how to bill to different insurance companies, and what's going to get the bill paid and what's not going to get the bill paid, if that makes sense.
Right. And
then my last practice helped me with just doing my clinical skills, right? Mm-hmm. Treating multiple patients. Like I said, I saw 250 a week. So I was seeing like 40 a day.
That's
right?
crazy.
It taught me how to sharpen my skills and to be quick. So I'm very blessed that I had that knowledge beforehand, and which kind of made me confident to start my own business because I did it before. And I know what I'm doing, right?
Right.
So it was something that I learned. So.
Okay. All right. Because that can be a headache. Because if you don't get paid from managed care or insurance, then
it's a lot. But I'm very blessed that I had that knowledge.
Okay. Yeah. So all the knowledge that you kind of like encompass over the years, some people ask me, "Hey, Sharon, did you go to culinary school?" I didn't. I just have a passion for it. Yeah. You have a passion for what you do, but can you tell like someone that is maybe interested in being a chiropractor, how much time is really required? Because going from, undergrad all the way up to this point, are you constantly going, to seminars? I know you have to have certain certifications.
Absolutely.
Help me understand that.
Well, I would say, so to be a chiropractor, of course, you're a doctor first, right? So make sure you have your sciences down in biology and anatomy and physiology. And also chemistry. But I would also, if I had to do it all over again, I would also learn something about business, something about marketing, public health, not just being a doctor. Right. So just starting off with that part. When you're getting your degree, also minor and major in business, accounting, entrepreneurship, anything that's going to help you be a well-rounded
But did you really think you were going to be an entrepreneur? Back in undergrad?
No.
Okay.
But I'm teaching the next generation. That's what you said.
Okay.
But then when it comes to going to chiropractic school, what people don't know is that our school is about 4.5 years long, and we have more medical education, diagnosis, physiology, anatomy than the general practitioner.
Really?
Because they go 8 years, we go 4.5. So our schedule is heavy. So we have a very extensive knowledge. So it does take time. If you're going to go to chiropractic school, like you need to be engrossed in it and learn and hone your skills. Because once you get out, you're just an educated entrepreneur, right? You know how to crack backs well, but you know how to run a business. So it does take a lot of time. And we're also very passionate, also very smart. Because sometimes chiropractors in general get a bad rap that we're not real doctors.
That's not true. I've heard that.
That's not true. Like that DR in front of my name is actually a real DR. Okay. Point. Period. Okay, not fake. So, but yes,
say it again for the people in the back.
Right. Okay, I'm a whole doctor out here in these streets, as the people would say. Let me stop cutting up.
No. It's so true though, because whenever I talk about, hey, I'm going to get, my adjustment, people look at me like, whatever.
Right.
Or like acupuncture or any of the holistic type of medicine that you were referencing earlier. They look at me like, why are you doing that? Right. But you know what? I don't care what you think because I feel a lot better.
Correct.
And obviously,
and it's
what
all
you're
about
saying,
living a healthier life. If you want to, I personally want to go to 100.
Oh, I do
willing.
too.
And I don't want to be on a walker. I don't want to take medications to survive. I want my body to be healthy as possible. And that's all chiropractic is, making you live a healthier life without the need of medication. So if you want to surf into the rest of your life, you want to go hike into the rest of you want to skydive until you die, that's what chiropractic does. It keeps you functioning to do whatever it is that you enjoy.
So is anyone in your family like an entrepreneur? Or
I'm the first one.
You're the first one? The
First
first
one
doctor?
Yes.
Okay, the first doctor.
The first one. So between my parents to go to college, have a college degree, open my own practice, the first doctor, only one in my family on both sides who owns a business working for themselves. I don't clock in a traditional 9 to 5.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Because a lot of people don't know what it takes.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Because like we talked about the schedule, it's not the same schedule every day. We talked about vacationing. You said you went on your first vacation after 6 years.
Yeah,
Girl, you
I'm a little embarrassed to say. I know.
No. But
I know.
It's not embarrassing because I was the same way.
Yeah.
Like, I've been doing this for 16 years, and I think probably the first 6 or 7, I was missing homecoming.
Right.
And I can't be missing homecoming.
Yeah. They don't know. If they ain't go to HBCU, you don't know what it's about, honey.
Say that.
It's a family reunion for sure.
Right. So, I commend you. I applaud you. And, one of the questions that I said I wanted to ask you was, you've been doing this for 6 years. I know it's not a long time by any means. And I think, I didn't know you were as old as you were because you look good.
Thank you.
But how long are you going to be in the game? Do you have an exit strategy? Do you want to expand? Do you want to franchise?
That's a good question. When it comes to chiropractic in general, I don't think I'm going to be cracking backs past 50. Okay. I want to, believe it or not, venture into flipping houses, real estate.
Okay.
I'm being creative design and all that good stuff. So I kind of want to transition into another level entrepreneurship where I can have my time and my freedom, but also building wealth. Okay. So my exit plan is to have another doctor come in. They be the main doctor, and I only see my patients who, they like to see me.
You need to keep me on your list.
Absolutely.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Absolutely. And then whatever happens to the business happens to the business. They either buy it, I sell it, but I want to, like I said, I'm not married yet, right? Have a family, have children. So I want to structure my life to where I can be there for my kids.
Right.
Still making money, right? Building the business, and I have to clock into a 9 to 5. So I don't have it quite figured out yet, but I definitely want to get into the real estate though. Okay. I love HGTV. Oh my!
So that's what you do in your free time.
That, yes, ma'am. Okay. And the Food Network. Both of them.
Okay, Food Network.
I'm a huge food. I love to eat. Okay.
Love I can't tell.
You can't, but God, that track. That's what happened.
Right. So what are you doing in your free time?
So now, I'm venturing into DC, trying new restaurants and stuff like that. Trying to travel more in my free time. I also do like to read every now and again. Okay. So if I get a really good book, I like to snuggle up and, read my book. But I also do like TV. So, watching HGTV.
I turn on the TV.
Food Network. People don't know that I'm a huge Golden Girls lover. Like, I've seen all the episodes. But I've seen them all. But I enjoy watching, So sometimes I can be extremely lazy, be in my house with my PJs wrapped up, just looking at TV, and I'm happy. So.
And that is okay because you work hard every day.
Yeah.
So, and we've talked about a lot of different things. We can go on and on probably forever. About what we do every day, being the CEO, the CFO,
yes,
the HR department, everything. But I have to ask, what can I do? What can other people that are watching? How can we help you, Dr. Howard, grow, expand, whether it be with your practice, you personally? How can we help you be the best you?
I would say 2 things. When it comes to your health, just be open-minded. Always ask questions. Just because, and I'm a doctor, the doctor tells you one thing, is not bond, right? So if you feel like something is not right, ask questions. Be open to different alternatives. Come with the open mind. Some people, when they come to me, they're definitely scared. But once I explain and I adjust them, then they love me, right? So just be an advocate for your health. Is something that's very important, to be open-minded and think past the pain. You don't want to cover it up. You want to fix it.
Right.
So just that piece. And then another piece is connecting me with great people. Like sometimes I'm on an island. So I definitely want to meet other entrepreneurs, women in business or men in business, minorities in business who are doing big things, because that inspires me to keep going and to do big things. So I would say those two things.
Okay, that's easy.
Yeah.
That's what this whole community networking with other entrepreneurs is for. We're going to hook you up, and hopefully your schedule is going to be to where
Blown up.
where you're like, you're on the waiting list.
Oh, no, never that.
Never
I'm
that.
there for people, that's for sure. I'm definitely there for people.
Because she will open up the schedule. I already know.
Yeah.
But we have to, as you say, health is important. You have to focus on you and making you a better you.
Absolutely.
And, I just appreciate the time, the opportunity that you have shared.
I appreciate this good food. I'm waiting for the camera to go off so I can really eat it. So people don't judge me.
But if you are interested in, an adjustment or just talking with Dr. Howard, I know she's available and open. And as always, we're cooking with Sharon, the business chat. We appreciate you joining us today. Thanks again.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.